welcome to a talk on depression, a misused, misguided word. What does it mean? But what if I told you that depression is a special wake-up call, a self-awakening butterfly metamorphosis experience of transformation into your true being? How about depression is God's personal transformation to you? This is the new information that has come to light through basically what you are. And when you kind of look at them, just them three things, you take up so much identity. You're a son, you're a brother, you're a dad, you're a carpenter, a butcher, a car mechanic. You're a mum, you're a daughter, you're a sister, you're a niece, you're a cousin. These are all identities. And each one of these identities that we have been shown how to adopt, I think that is about the right word to use here. Adopt a word becomes an identity. Depression became an identity. So people had this low energy, it just basically didn't feel right. So you would go to the doctors and guaranteed, I would say guaranteed, 10 times out of 10 you would have already told your doctor what was wrong. He would have said, "What's the matter?" And you would have said, "I'm depressed." And in that meantime, he's writing out a prescription for your course of tablets. So it's quite interesting. You'll probably go away for a couple of weeks on them tablets and see how you get on with them and come back. And maybe, let's see if it's improved. And some of you may have been on them for a long time and feel that nothing's really happened. Maybe since you've been on depression tablets, you actually feel worse. Because when you look at the side effects of what depression tablets do, I can't make head or tail out of that, where depression or taking these tablets will give you suicidal thoughts. Where does it sound there? Side effect might be, might give you such joyous thoughts you won't know what hit you. It's true though, isn't it? Where's that? Where's that other side of it? So I looked for that. I looked for the remedy. I tried to understand, what is this depression? I fell into it. It happened. And I looked at it. But I didn't go to the doctors. But I knew doctors and psychiatrists and people. And you know yourself. You know you're depressed. And I'm not talking I'm depressed just because your girlfriend didn't turn up or your boyfriend dumped you or your car got a flat tire or you haven't got money. There is another depression. It's a deep one. It's a very deep one. Many people lose themselves. Maybe many people, take their lives. And I've experienced that for a brother of mine. And I believe that it was an amazing experience, not just for him, but also for me. Because not only did my brother show me how to die, he actually showed me how to live. And that's the difference of where I went. I could have died with my brother, or I could have thought, wow, you went that far. So, if you can do that, then there isn't nothing I cannot do to keep alive and to stay alive. So this self-awakening, imagine, it is the greatest of stories, isn't it? The transformation, the butterfly, the cocoon, and the caterpillar. We've heard that story so many times, and we've tried to understand it as many times as we can. So let's have a look at the caterpillar just for a moment. And we'll look at that caterpillar as being me. B-M-E, and it will make sense. Being me is the caterpillar. And the caterpillar basically eats everything that it sees. It fills itself to the brim. falls asleep, falls into the cocoon, and gets totally transformed. So, looking at it on a material sense of us, where the caterpillar is eating, it's eating, and they do eat. They can devour a leaf in moments, it seems, for how small they are. But it's interesting, isn't it, that life has told us, shown us, whether it's through lack of knowledge, or whether it's through ignorance, or whether it's through control. Somebody, or somehow, or the programming has got us to be caterpillars. Go get what you want, grab it, have it, eat it, devour it, eat anything in your pathway. You know, we're here to kind of experience life, and that's what we're called having a good time, or having a good life. And then you've got the cocoon side of it. Now, the cocoon side of it is when the caterpillar has had enough, it goes into the cocoon. That cocoon is what I call depression. Because you was alright being the caterpillar, but something changed, something happened. And all of a sudden you've found yourself inside, blocked behind bars it seemed, a prisoner in your own jail. It was dark, lonely, scary, and there was a feeling of fear. And there was an energy that circulates you when you're in the cocoon. And you're not sure what that is. It's almost like being or fallen in the bottom of a well. And you can see the light at the top there. But how do I get out? This is the cocoon. This is the depression. And if you look up depression, it actually turns around and says in the English dictionary, and you can check this out, depression states that it is low in spirits. I like that. That to me sounds true. Low in spirits. Right. So when you go to your doctors, don't say that you're depressed, but go and tell him that you are low in spirits, just to see if there's a different conversation. Depression. Total lockout. Looks like you've got no lights on. You feel like half the time you're more tired when you wake up than when you went to bed. It all completely goes wrong. What is a depressed person? What is a mentally depressed person? Somebody that cannot cope in the outside world. But how about if I turned around and said, you wasn't meant to cope on the outside world? You'd already done that bit. You was already doing that from the moment that you was born. But how about at that time when something or everything just got too much and boom, the light went off into the cocoon. They call it depression. Take these tablets, see what happens. Well, what do they really do? Supposed to balance the mind, because depression is an imbalance of the mind. Yeah? They have discovered that they cannot tell the difference between a balanced mind and a depressed mind or unbalanced mind. There is no tests. There is tests, but they don't show up. We cannot tell. So why are we depressed? You can't answer that, can you? It's one of the things. You may have come up with excuses that turns around and says, okay, I'm depressed because I've lost my dad. I've lost my mum. Okay, well, we know that. We know that. So what's causing that? The depression will then turn into an emotion. It then turns into a memory. So there's many things of looking at depression. But let's go for the one where it feels like you are not who you used to be. and all you want to do is to try and get back to who you used to be. And you basically scream at your ceiling, or you shout to God, kind of help me out down here, it's getting a bit painful. I don't think I'm going to get through this. I don't think I'm going to be able to manage it. I was in that place. My God, I never ever thought your own self could be so damaging, so judgmental, so hurtful. But I still kept asking myself why. And I thought to myself, if this is me, and I'm going through what I'm going through, then why do I keep asking myself why? And what are these thoughts that want to kill me off? Why are my thoughts that powerful that I may just do it? But why don't they seem powerful enough to talk you out of it? To get you moving in life? What's the difference? It's amazing, isn't it? Amazing. Amazing that somebody has done that, has taken their life. And I'm not glorifying that, not whatsoever. Because for me, at certain points of that journey, you can see its massive build-up. And people say, it came out of the blue, it just happened. But if you can see the journey properly, it's mainly about the journey. That's what the journey was all about. So we've spoken about many, many different forms of depression there. You can have depression of the mind. You can have depression of your emotions. You can have depression of inspiration even. Whatever depression is, it's totally the opposite to what you used to be. But it's hard to kind of know what the opposite was, wasn't it, when you was fairly normal in the first place. But you've gone under normal now, and it's called depression. So that means it's almost like you've got to get back up to being normal, and that's even before you start, kind of being a completely different person. So I looked at it, and I knew that there was no way on earth that I would ever go into depression. So in this depression, I discovered a lot more. I'm not saying that this was easy, but I realized that depression actually was God's personal transformation to you, and that you had actually asked for help, and you cried for help. You wanted signs, you wanted a symbol, you wanted a flash of light, you wanted a message somewhere, somehow, to bring in some faith or a belief, or that there's more to life than what's going on. When you go into this depression and you try to fight your way out of it, it is a battle. It is a battle between truth and illusion. It is a battle between your mind and your emotions. And it is a battle about your past, present, and future. It is an internal conflict with the outside world, and it